Hello, welcome to Gemstone Tarot, Tuesday the 3rd of June 2025. We are rattling through 2025, aren't we? Do you ever do that thing where you make an appointment with someone you see regularly, like a physio or whatever, osteopath, and they go, well, I'll see you in 3 months, and you think, whew, that's forever away. And then next thing you know, you're right there, you're doing it again. I know. Let me just up this camera a little bit. Oh, well, that's better. Cool. Hope I didn't nudge anything, as the actress said to the bishop. Okay, my voice is going weird today. We have a very high pollen count in the UK on account of actually having some sunshine that none of us can cope with. That's what I'm looking for. We're using this just so interesting and weird deck. I use this in the monthly readings, usually as an opening card or an overall energy card. Do check out your monthly readings. They are in the playlist at the top of the description box. They're nearly all out. I'm getting there. I put a lot of energy into them, so they sometimes are slow to come out, but they're nearly all out. They're added to each day, so have a good old looky-see. Let's have a look at these Shaman's Dream cards. One of those days where I should have maybe tested my voice a bit before I came on camera. Maybe had a conversation with a person, but I didn't. Oh, I love that one. Okay. Some days you've just got to get out there. Ooh. Now, the thing I love about this deck, and I've been talking to you past few days about mischievous kind of energies that move things when you're not looking and all that sort of stuff. And I know it sounds a little bit crazy, and that camera, it should be like that. I've been very anal today. I think it's because we've got the moon in Virgo. Because normally I don't think about whether the camera's aligned or whether this is that or the other. But today I am, and I quite like it. Love a bit of Virgo, being a Pisces. Anyhow, right, got my scrunchie on. 3 cards are out. This is a deck that I swear to God spawns cards when I'm not looking. It's just each time I go into it, there's something different. There's the ones that I see, you know, again and again, and then there's just other ones. I'm like, I'm sure I've never seen you before. It's all a bit Toy Story. Spiritual Toy Story, like, shh, she's asleep, shh, she's asleep, quick, before 3 AM when she definitely will wake up, quick, let's morph. I know, we've got a small window between about 11 and 3 AM, let's get to work. Okay, anyway, itchy nose, that's a good sign. In the hand, as in bird in the hand, is the first thing I think of. The universe is your partner. Okay, this is about co-creation. Now, you don't have to be mad for manifesting. I have an interesting relationship with manifesting. I don't like the kind of saccharine version of manifesting, the whole, you know, if you scribble it in your journal, it's going to happen tomorrow. And there is a whole lot of BS that goes along with manifesting. But I've sort of got into it at a deeper level than that, and there's a lot there. It's a lot. It is an awful lot. So it's how this lands for you. And each person is different in how it lands for them. How it lands in the hands. But just a message to know. And sometimes it's as simple as this, that the universe is working with you at the moment. That's not to say that the universe is always working with you, because sometimes it's not. Sometimes the wind is not blowing in your direction, or the current is not going your way. And as humans, we are enticed often to kind of struggle against that and think, if I work hard, you know, and yeah, if you work hard, really hard, you may still get there, but you'll lose an awful lot along the way, including, you know, maybe your sanity, grafting, that kind of thing, energy. Sometimes there is another way. And in a weird way, and the message that I'm getting is all paths work out. I know, the world is a perfect place. All paths work out. But it's just easier and nicer to do it some ways than others. So that's the message that I'm getting for that. Don't make it hard for yourself, especially if you grew up in an environment, which a lot of us did if it was like the 80s, you know, of the I give you something, I'll give you something to cry about, you know, and hard work and graft and all that sort of, and I'm not saying that a discipline isn't good, because it is, but hard work does not always bring rewards. You know, tell it to people in crap jobs where they're doing really, really, really hard work, and like home care jobs. I always think home care jobs should be paid really, really high salaries, because if you think about it, that is a really difficult job. And, you know, dealing with intimate things and dealing with difficult things and dealing with things that are really, really important to humans and the way that our bodies function and what happens to us as we get older or disabled or whatever it is. I just have always admired people doing that job and doing it well, with humility and with sensitivity and also with strength, because it takes a lot of strength, but the money's terrible. So, you know, an honest day's work does not always equal an honest day's pay, and also in terms of your own energetic field as a human, it's not really about work all the time. Gosh, never knew I was going to have like some sort of weird socialist rant. There you go. Okay, let me know your thoughts on that anyway. How jobs are valued is a very iffy thing. Then we have mindful, the groupthink, and this is the collective. And the collective is weird. I find the collective really, really weird. Sometimes if I walk into town and the streets are really full of people and there's buskers playing, and it feels a little bit like Mel Gibson in What Women Want. You know, when you can hear everybody's natter. And sometimes I can't. And it's interesting. There must be this whole collective consciousness. Sometimes you can hear it and plug into it, and sometimes you can't, and sometimes you can and you don't want to. You know, position yourself in the collective consciousness. Okay. I think those who need to get that message will get that message. By the way, do share this video if you're enjoying it. I never say that, but it really does help with the YouTube algorithm thing. Maths phase. Okay. Crown Games. I've never seen this one before. It's never come up in a reading before. It's never come up in a monthly before. Do you remember we did a reading a few days ago which was called Heavy is the Head That Wears the Crown? Interesting, isn't it? So, right use of power. So, this is about your own power, but also about the power of the collective and how much power you assign something or someone else. It's important to mention, not because this is striving to make everything fair, because I don't think we can make everything fair. The world being a perfect place does not mean the world is a fair place. Two very different things. But just watch yourself for how much power you are attributing to someone else. They may not want it, they may not deserve it, and it takes away from the power base that you give to yourself. Okay, that was a very interesting reading. I'm just going to show you the cards just in case we can actually see them. There we go. In the hand, mindful and Crown Games. I'm going to use these again. They make a really deep and insightful reading, don't they? Let me know your thoughts. Do check out the monthly readings, and do hit the like button if you like the video, and do subscribe actually. Yeah, I can't remember what else I was going to say. That's enough housekeeping. I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.